Hope your evening is going lovely. I just finished Dune today and Good Omens 2 days ago. I'm kind of wearing similar colors. I'm here to tell you what I think. I'm going to start with Dune. The number one way that I would describe this book would be WTF. It is definitely a mindfuck the entire time. I think that my biggest critique of this book is that it needs an editor. However, that is fair because I'm pretty sure it was published by like a car parts manufacturer, like the manual that you get in your car. Like they made those books and then they decided to make Dune. So I don't think that they paid a really high quality editor. With that being said, that makes it kind of fun because I get to kind of edit the book in my head as I read. Switching tenses in paragraphs and referring to things that never really happened in the book. That would be my second biggest critique of the book, is that I think he wrote it to be a movie because he refers to things that you could have seen happen on screen and infer kind of an emotional change that happens in a character, but in a book, that emotional change would be written out on the page, and it isn't. So I watched a lot of movies, so that kind of makes sense to me, but if I'd never seen a movie before, that'd probably be lost. I do think that if you like crazy ass world building, science fiction, exploring values of different ecological resources, Dune is a great book for you. It definitely kind of finds itself at the intersection of environmentalism and like respect for native people's relationship to a place, and then also like imperialism and basically modernity, the white man, although I don't know that anybody's white or not white in this book, but coming in and basically exploiting that resource. In this book, the resource is the spice, which can be found on the planet Arrakis, which is also called Dune. And the native people, I guess you would call them, know how to harness the spice, and these giant worms that like are always trying to get the spice, and everybody's really scared of the worms, but not the native people because they know how to ride them. The reason I'm not saying what they're called is because the way that I say it in my head, I think is different than how it's actually supposed to be said. So I'll just let you read it and figure it out. Would highly recommend, that's not true. Would recommend if you like sci-fi world building and have some time to kill. I wonder if this might be a good audiobook. Second book is Good Omens. This is written by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, and they both receive a lot of praise for their other works, and based off of just this, I would say that it's well earned. The number one thing that I would say about this book is that ultimately it's just going to be a fun read. It's going to have you thinking about the difference between good and evil, or like good and bad, right and wrong, and how that line can be blurred. I have to say that my biggest critique of this book would be the point that I think they were trying to drive home the most, which would be about what it is to be human. I think they didn't bring up early enough in the book, so I kind of didn't get that until the last kind of like hurrah of the book. However, it's still a really good read. You'll laugh, you'll chuckle. Yeah, I think that this is a great one if you really want to think about morality and traditional Christian icons in a funny way, but thought-provoking way. Yeah, so these are my two most recent books. Pretty sure next I'm gonna read The Left Hand of Darkness, but I need to have another one because I like to have two books at the same time. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes.